Welcome, learner. Today we're diving into a really fascinating narrative. It's about a protagonist arriving for what seems like a dream job,
Hmm.
only to find it's actually steeped in some pretty raw ritualistic terror.
Yeah, it escalates fast.
It really does. So our mission today is to look at this core idea, how relentless optimism, always looking on the bright side,
Right.
how that can sometimes act less like a shield and more like a blindfold when you're up against real hidden evil.
Exactly. We're following Katherine Sellers.
Yeah.
She heads off to this super isolated town, Roxburgh, in the Adirondacks. Big, imposing mansion called Owlsden.
Sounds glamorous on paper.
Totally. She thinks this job, being a companion to the wealthy Lydia Boland, is her destiny. Predestined future full of nothing but good, as she puts it,
The optimism kicking in already.
right off the bat. But we have these detailed accounts, and they show her introduction to the town is, well, harrowing. Things ramp up
Yeah.
incredibly quickly, from just weird folklore stuff to actual murder. And it all forces this central question. When the world is basically screaming warnings at you, is choosing happiness, choosing optimism a kind of strength? Or is it just actively refusing to see the danger, refusing to survive almost?
Okay, let's unpack that. Because we learn her optimism isn't just a personality quirk. It's a deliberate choice, right? A philosophy she built after her parents died.
Yeah, a tragic flood when she was young. So her thinking is if she projects goodness, goodness will come back to her. It's a defense mechanism.
But the story immediately throws that back in her face.
Mm.
The physical landscape itself seems to fight against that idea. So what's the first thing she encounters? What's literally decorating the landscape of her new life?
Well, her internal sunny outlook just slams right into this grim external reality. She's driving her old Ford feeling positively exhilarated.
Despite the icy roads and desolation.
Exactly, despite the really treacherous conditions. And then, near the base of the mountain, she finds the first very explicit sign that this isn't just a bleak place. It's something darker.
She finds a cat near an abandoned barn, hanging from a rope. And the details here, they're crucial, aren't they? They tell you this isn't just some random act.
Oh, absolutely not random. It's pure ritual. Designed to terrify, to make a statement. The poor animal was strangled, its eyes removed.
Ooh, classic occult symbolism there.
Definitely. And its front paws were tied together, holding a broken silver crucifix.
Broken, specifically.
Deliberately broken.
Huh.
And then 3 hat pins stuck in his belly. These details immediately signaled, okay, we're dealing with organized, intentional malice here.
Yeah.
Not just, some disturbed kid.
What gets me is Catherine's reaction. Instead of, say, turning the car around, which
Right.
I might have done.
Right. Sensible reaction.
Her sickness, her horror, where it turns into this white-hot anger. She actually goes into the barn.
Yeah, she forces herself, finds the chalk circle, the pentagrams, confirms the devil worshipper's theory, and then she does something defiant.
She buries the cat using a lug wrench from her car.
Exactly. It's her optimism translating into action, but it's almost aggressive action. A realist. They'd call the cops, maybe leave. A pessimist might be frozen in fear. Katherine chooses defiance. She's trying to undermine the ritual, refuse its power.
She won't let the external evil taint her internal belief.
But that's the problem, isn't it? Refusing to acknowledge the fear doesn't actually get rid of the danger. It just leaves her less prepared for what's coming next.
So she shakes it off somehow and keeps going. Arrives at Owlsden. And the mansion itself sounds pretty intimidating. Huge, like a phantom ship, windows like eyes of dragons.
Yeah, it definitely seems to mock her optimism. And this is where we meet the people who embody that core philosophical split, the family she's there to work for.
The Boleyns. If the house is the physical battleground.
And they're the psychological one. You've got Lydia Boland, the matriarch,
Yeah.
regal, energetic, and a self-proclaimed chronic optimist.
Just like Catherine.
Exactly. She reflects Catherine's worldview. She actually insists they joke about the whole Satanism thing. Just sweep it under the rug, keep things pleasant.
And contrasting her is the son, Alex Boland. Intense, cynical. The text says he has a vaguely unpleasant fault-finding quality. Gloomy.
Okay, and here we need to pause. Because the narrative is setting up a kind of trap for us, the readers, and for Katherine. Normally you expect the cheerful person to be the hero, right?
Right. And the gloomy, critical one to be suspicious.
But the story subtly suggests Alex's fault-finding isn't just negativity. It might actually be critical thinking, a kind of defensive realism. It helps him see potential threats. Lydia's optimism, on the other hand, it's just dismissive of danger, fundamentally.
And then there's the third player, Michael Harrison, the outsider. He seems like the perfect package.
Oh, yeah. Tall, rugged, handsome, charismatic, son of the local mill owner. Everyone in town seems to like him.
He's the embodiment of that sunny disposition Katherine values. She trusts him almost immediately.
While Alex, the gloomy one, openly shows disdain and bitterness towards Harrison. So you have these three poles set up.
Lydia's active, optimistic denial. Alex's, maybe analytical realism.
Yeah, let's call it that. And Harrison's charming facade, which, spoiler alert, is weaponized charm.
And the warnings, they start coming from the most unlikely source, the caretaker.
Yuri Selenov, described as beefy, swarthy, but with a surprisingly cultured voice, claims he's Romanian, and he immediately dismisses Catherine's disbelief, calls her a nice, quiet old crackpot.
Charming. What does he actually warn her about?
He's incredibly specific, drawing on local folklore. Tells her point blank, lock your door, don't walk the grounds after midnight, ever.
Okay, pretty direct.
And he mentions this devil's dance near the forest. Says the devil appears sometimes as a wolf, sometimes a panther. This isn't just vague, be careful stuff. It's targeted local knowledge.
Which Katherine probably dismisses as superstition.
Almost certainly. But for someone like Alex, these might be data points, you know, things to file away.
And frighteningly, the outside world seems to confirm Yuri's warnings. Even Harrison, the charming one, admits Satanism is kind of common around Roxburgh, says the state police can take weeks to respond sometimes.
Yeah, useless. And then the horror becomes undeniable. They find the local church altar desecrated.
Oh, right. The two gutted dogs hanging from the big metal cross.
Grim stuff. And think about that escalation. A dead cat in a remote barn. Now dead dogs desecrating the town's church. The ritual violence is moving closer to the community.
And then, crucially, it moves right inside the house. Owlsden itself. Katherine finds proof the house has been breached.
Footprints leading from a bonfire site out in the woods, straight to the back door of Owlsden.
And the kicker.
No footprints leading away.
Chilling. Someone came in and didn't leave.
This is a huge turning point. Or it should be. The cultist is now potentially an insider, a resident, a guest, someone with access. This should shatter Catherine's optimism.
But instead, the threat becomes personal. It targets her.
That very night, 3:08 a.m. Deliberately spooky timing.
A knock on her door. She opens it and...
A huge circle drawn in wet, fresh blood on her door, with white chalk Latin words inside it.
And this links directly back to Yuri's warning, doesn't it?
Exactly. He'd warned her this specific sign, this mark, meant she was chosen, designated as the next associate, the next convert. The message is blunt. We see you. You're next. You're trapped.
The tension just keeps ratcheting up. And then the ultimate escalation. Yuri Selenov,
the one person who gave her solid, factual warnings,
is found murdered in the drawing room, sprawled near another chalk circle, stabbed with an antique knife from the house.
The local constable, Cartier, he's no fool. He immediately says the timing of everything, the cat, the dogs, the footprints, the sign on her door. Now the murder, it's more than a simple coincidence.
He really knows it's an inside job.
Pretty much implies it. And Alex, interestingly, gets angry when the suspicion falls on family or friends. He defends them, saying they're all realists.
Which is ironic, given he's the prime realist, but that defense crumbles, right?
Completely. When Lydia, trying to be helpful, blurts out that loads of people, Alex's friends, various acquaintances, actually have keys to Owlsden for convenience.
Convenience? How many people?
Creates at least 13 suspects right there. 13 people with easy access to the murder weapon, the drawing room, everything.
So Lydia's trusting, optimistic nature giving out keys freely actually created the vulnerability.
Precisely. It allowed the malice right into the heart of the house. And that sets the stage for the final act, the fatal trap.
After Yuri's death, there's a convenient power outage.
Yeah, lines cut, not just the storm. Very suspicious.
And Michael Harrison calls Katherine Mr. Charming.
He weaves this incredibly convincing story. Tells her Alex is the cult leader. Alex killed Yuri. He plays right into her biases.
And tells her to meet him late at night, top of the ski slope, for evidence and rescue.
He knows exactly how her mind works. Trust the smile, distrust the frown. But this where Alex's realism, his fault-finding, pays off.
He overheard part of the call.
Enough to know Harrison was setting a trap for Katherine. So he anticipates it. Gets two friends, hides them armed in the mansion. The cynic was prepared.
While the optimist walks right into it, Harrison leads her into the woods.
To a clearing. New ritual fire being prepped. And the mask drops. Harrison admits he's the leader. And his gloomy, pessimistic friends, the ones Katherine didn't like because they weren't cheerful enough.
The cult family.
Bingo. And his motive It's almost pathetic, really. Pure, obsessive jealousy.
About Alex.
Yeah. Hates Alex for always being second best in school and life. This whole satanic thing is just his way to strike back. Possess Katherine, who Alex seems to like, then summon fire spirits, destroy Owlsden. It's petty resentment dressed up in occult robes.
Wow. So the evil wasn't some grand philosophical statement, just sour grapes.
Weaponized sour grapes, basically. Malice born from jealousy. And then it gets really terrifying for Katherine. She tries to run, gets lassoed back.
Less good grief.
Yeah. Harrison gets that flame of the fanatic look in his eyes, talks about their alternate path. And then, just as Yuri warned, during this forced ritual dance,
She sees the wolf.
she sees what she believes is a wolf, nearly as large as a man, watching her.
Confirming Yuri's warning. Whether it was real or manifested by the sheer belief and terror.
Exactly. It confirms Yuri wasn't just some crackpot. And it shows how powerful Harrison's conviction, his performance of evil, really was. It created that horror in her reality.
But then rescue arrives. Alex and his friends, armed and ready.
Just in the nick of time, the realist saves the optimist. There's a fight. Alex physically takes Harrison down. And Harrison just collapses, goes catatonic, silent.
Until the interrogation.
Right. Then he speaks, but flatly. Drops all the fanaticism, admits it was all about his obsession with Alex, admits stealing the key code from a carpenter to get access.
And does he still claim he summoned the devil?
Chillingly, yes. He stands by it, insists he did summon Satan as the wolf. Whether true or not, he believes it.
Which brings us back to that core idea. Alex confronts Katherine, points out the difference, calls her and his mother chronic optimists.
Says they refuse to admit anything nasty in anyone. And he defends himself, says he's not cynical, he's realistic. That realism is what let him see Harrison's true nature behind the smile.
And that line, that's the key takeaway, isn't it?
Absolutely. A smile could be a front far more easily than a frown can be. Katherine judged entirely on surface attitude, preferred the friendly fanatic over the perhaps brusque but ultimately protective realist.
Her philosophy, the one she built to survive tragedy,
Ended up blinding her, put her directly in harm's way because she couldn't or wouldn't see malice behind a pleasant face.
it's quite a journey for her. But it ends with a glimmer of hope. A kiss in the kitchen with Alex.
Yeah, a new foundation maybe, built on seeing things clearly perhaps. And Alex shares that old superstition that love protects against evil, a touch of optimism grounded in reality maybe.
So what an intense ride. We saw how quickly reality can just dissolve when these deeply held beliefs, like Katherine's optimism, collide with truly hidden malice.
Yeah, and the ultimate contrast, as we've been saying, isn't simply good versus evil, it's optimism versus realism. Katherine picked her allies, her potential partner, based almost entirely on their sunny attitude.
And that sunny attitude turned out to be the most dangerous mask of all.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? In a world that feels increasingly complex, full of hidden agendas and extreme views, is being that kind of chronic optimist, the kind that actively filters out the negative, is that a healthy survival tool? Or is it actually a dangerous liability we just can't afford anymore?
A provocative thought indeed. We hope this deep dive into appearances, fanaticism, and the surprising usefulness of realism gives you plenty to chew on. Until next time, stay informed.